In this video, I want to talk about variance and standard deviation. Okay, now whenever you have a mean, you have to talk about variance and or standard deviation. So let me give you the definition of standard deviation. Standard deviation, so let's write SD, is shown by a Greek letter sigma, small sigma, is the square root of variance. Is the square root of variance. So let's say, what is variance? What is variance? Variance is the average, is basically the average of the square of the deviation. Now that is again more complicated. So if you want to write what is variance, variance is, in simple words, is the average, or in other words the mean of deviation, is average of deviation or square of deviation, average of square of deviation from the mean, deviation of each data from the mean, Okay, so let's take some simple values which will give a neat mean. So let's say x is your random variable, and let's say it is 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now I've taken this so that you get a neat mean. So if you add them up, the mean is going to be 4. You can do that. So the x bar is 4. So I'm going to show you how you calculate the variance and the formula of variance. So let me write variance. This is the definition of variance. Variance is sigma x minus x bar the whole squared on n. So this is variance. So you take this is called the deviation. This is the deviation or the distance of a particular value of any x from the mean. So let's make up two tables. So this is x. Let's find x minus x bar, and then I'm going to square x minus x bar the whole squared. Okay, so the x that we have is 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the mean x bar we already know is 4. So this is, as I said, this is the deviation. This is the deviation. Deviation means the distance of x from mean, and this is the square of deviation. This is the square of deviation. Okay, so we're asking 2 is how far away from 4. So you go 2 minus 4, which is negative 2. So this negative 2 shows that 2 is 2 to the left of mean. Here this will be negative 1, this is 0, this is 1 and 2. So this number tells us whether it is to the left or right of mean. Now if you add them up, it's going to be 0. And then if you add the deviation and you divide by n, it's going to be 0 in most of the cases. So to get away, now that means you can't find what is the average of the deviation. So what the mathematicians thought of is just square these numbers. So this is 4, 1, 0, 1 and 4, and then add them up. So this is 4 plus 1 is 5 and 4 plus 1 is 5, which is 10. And this is called your sigma x minus x bar the whole squared. You're adding up the square of the deviation, which is called sigma x minus x bar. So using in this formula, which is basically 10 on 10 on 5, am I right? 10 on 5, yeah, that's right. So variance, sorry, not variation, variance is 10 on 5 is 2. So the standard deviation is going to be square root of 2, which is 1.4 something. Okay, 1.4 dot 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 dot. Okay, so this is the standard deviation. Let me show you how you can find the standard deviation on your calculator. So on your CAS calculator, go to doc and insert list and spreadsheet. So this is list and spreadsheet. So let's label this as X and let's enter the data. Okay, so that's already there. I've already populated. Okay. Okay, so let me open with a new document. Okay, and I don't want to save it. Open list and spreadsheet and enter X and enter 2, 3, 4, no, 2, enter 3, enter 4, enter 5, 6. So once you enter the data like this, you go under menu, under statistics, under stats calculation, one variable stats. Okay, and then the X list, this is called X, your label, your data is X, and press OK. And this first column is your mean, so that's your mean. This is the total of the data. This is sigma x squared. This is S. This is the standard deviation, sigma x. Okay, so 1.41. Basically, this is the square root of 2.